Hello and welcome to the second DMD2 tutorial. Today we are going to start by talking about the top status bar. From the left to the right we have the battery information where you can see if it's charging or not and the battery percentage. Then to the right you have the GPS precision information. The lower this value is, the better. Next is the memory usage, how much you are using from the available amount. Then your internet connection status, if you are online or not. And last you have the date and the hour. Another cool feature for the top status bar is that you can use it to hide or show the bottom menu. Now let's move to the global settings, which are settings that are common to all views, to the whole app. You should notice that each app section has its own settings. Usually you can find it by pressing the cogwheel button, and while those settings are specific to each view, the global settings are different and they will have effect over the whole app. So let's look at the first setting, which is the color theme. You can switch between a dark and a light mode, and you can make this change either manually or you can make it automatically based on light sensor or by following the Android system. The second option is the accent color. These small highlights that you see, for example, on dialogues, on the bottom menu, current selection. Now it's red. Let's change this to something else. Let's try the green color. As you can see, the accents are now in green. This is great to match with your motorcycle color or your stock motorcycle dashboard colors. Another important set of options is the localization options. Here you can set a time format if you want to use imperial units and if you want to use Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. If you scroll down, you also have battery indicator settings so that you can select what you want it to display. And further below, one of my favorite, which is the automatic trip reset. You can set this to do a reset on your trip values if you don't use the app for more than X amount of time. So if you set it to 2 days, for example, it means that if you don't open the app for more than 2 days, the trip values will reset automatically when you start the app. These are just some of the settings. We will return to settings later on other tutorials. Now we are going to move to the home view. And please notice that the home view is different between a tablet and a phone. We are looking at the tablet version where you can see the two panels, left and right. Each panel has 3 slots for 3 different widgets. You can go to the settings and select what widget you want for each position. So the 3 slots for the left panel and the 3 slots for the right panel. Then you have the center sections and the bottom sections. So for example, let's change the bottom. Let's change it for the media player widget. Let's do some more changes here. Let's select for the second slot on the right panel something like, for example, the app shortcuts. So now if we close this, we can check our changes. We can see that we have a media player on the bottom, and we can check what we have on the panels. On the second slot we have GPS indicators, which we can click on these small buttons and select from a list. And we are always adding new widgets, stuff like the app shortcut widget where you can set up shortcuts for your favorite apps. You have a notification list so that you can check out all the notifications that you get while you are riding. You have the media player, you have speed, you have map progress, which will show you your navigation or GPX progress. It's a big list. We are not going to talk about all the available widgets. Just take some time to explore the options. You can even load external widgets which are from apps that you have installed on your device. So for example, let's load a My Radar app widget called My Radar summary. Here you go. So now you have weather information, and as you see, this is very flexible, so just spend some time with it and make it work for you. Select information that is relevant to you. The last thing that we will quickly talk about is about remote controllers. They are a very important part of our app. The whole app is being developed with support for remotes, and the first thing you should know is that you can do a long press on the first button and then use the joystick to select your current view. And since we are talking about the home view today, let's see what we can do with a remote controller. So if you do up and down, you will change the entry on the right panel, and if you do left or right, you will switch to the left panel and change the entry. Another thing that's very useful, it's on the second button. You can disable the screen touch, so this will lock the screen. So for example, in case of rain, there will be no ghost touches. When this is enabled, there is no touch. And to finish up, if you look closely, some of the widgets have a small enter icon on it, like for example the trip, which means that if you press the first button, now you can access the widget function, which in this case is trip reset. Please notice that different widgets will have different functions, and this is only available for widgets that are loaded in the panels. So that's it, guys. We are going to try to keep this tutorial short. Stay tuned, we will release another one very soon, and thank you for watching.